Good evening. What is up, Left Coasters? How are we all feeling tonight? Welcome to the first TLC talk show. I am your host, Vexed Valentine. Welcome, guys. How's everybody feeling tonight? We're gonna have a little bit of fun tonight. You guys ready? Gonna have a little bit of conversation, some good feelings, good vibes. I don't know, and we'll just see where the night takes us. We're here actually with Kevster and Horkified. Say hello, guys.
Hey.
What's going on?
How you guys feeling tonight?
Oh, doing wonderful.
Yeah?
It's
Yeah,
Saturday.
great.
It's
Weekend
Saturday.
hype.
Yes.
Oh, that is good. It is a good Saturday, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a nice,
good
it's
ones.
the end of the week. We're all relaxed now. We all get to hang out, play our games and everything. We don't have to worry about work, worry about school. It's just our free time off. We can do whatever we want, be whoever we want to be.
It's
Some
truly
days.
fantastic.
Some
Oh,
days
yeah.
it's just what you need.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But hey, I just want to say, just take a quick moment here, and I wanted to thank everybody for coming out, hanging out. We appreciate the support. We appreciate you sitting by and hanging out with us, even through some of our technical difficulties. But you know what? Hey, that's the internet. What can I say? But thanks for joining us, and we hope that you enjoy this evening's plans and everything like that, because we're just gonna get into some conversation. I don't know if you guys
Absolutely.
are down for that. We will be open to questions, so if anyone has if anybody has questions throughout the entire course of the show, just put them in chat and I will get to as many as I can, but we will be answering a little bit of our own questions as well. So with that, Kev, Porkified,
Yo.
how you both doing?
Oh,
know?
it's
Tell me about
just
your weeks.
wonderful, man. We're
Yeah.
we're chilling right now. You know, we're all chasing the weekend.
Oh yeah.
So as soon as it gets here, we're just so hyped up, and then it's devastating because of how quickly it's over.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel it. And one of those things you look forward to every week, and I know I do, is the game nights that Kev and I usually have planned, and that it just all comes to culmination once we have all of that at the end of the week. It's a wonderful thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the fuel that powers me through the end of day work day on Friday, and then I am just absolutely re-energized once that time hits, and I go from the every 2-minute yawning to just all perky and ready to go.
Oh, I feel it.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Horkified. You mentioned something about the game nights. How have those been going? Like,
Oh my God.
I personally, as being one of the newer members of the Left Coast, I haven't been able to appear or make my appearance or anything. But I would just want to know, how are those? I remember talking to Messi earlier, and he was saying something about Mario Kart.
Yeah. So our game nights have been just absolutely phenomenal. Thanks to Mel for that. I mean, they've just been absolutely some of the
Shout
most
out.
fun. Absolutely, give a shout out to Mel for us if we can, because she's put in a lot of time and effort, and these community game nights have definitely created some of the clips that I still watch today.
Yeah, that's for sure. Now, I mean, another. I just want to piggyback off that. Another, just give Mel the biggest of shout outs, because not only is it as simple as streaming onto the Left Coast channel, but it takes a whole mess of other factors involved to really bring the community and the gamers together and make it one cohesive piece. Anyone can just hop on and say, okay, I'm going to stream on the channel, but Mel ties in everything that you need to make it one of the most memorable experiences, in my opinion.
I think that's actually very important, because I mean, you see a lot of these stream teams and everyone's just kind of off doing themselves. What makes TLC different, other than uniting and doing all the stuff together as the stream nights? Like, what makes us a little bit better than the other stream teams?
Kev, let me take that one a little bit.
Yeah,
'cause
go for it.
I as most of you know, this is probably one of the first times you've all seen me on stream.
That is,
I'm
isn't it?
usually
Oh,
I'm
goodness.
usually behind a microphone, usually not in front of a camera, and it's because I'm trying to get set up right now to actually get everything going. So, one of the things that I really enjoyed about this community was the fact that I can ask for help and I get help. And that's one of the things I think is the biggest thing about the community is the fact that, you know, I've got so many more friends in this in our TLC than I do in like real life. All honesty. I mean, because these are the people I want to relate with. These are the people that act the same interests as I do.
Wake up,
And
Workified. The Matrix has you.
The Matrix has me.
We are real life, man. We're a real life family.
No, I mean that's what I'm saying. I've met more people through the community, more thoughtful members than I have walking down the street. And I think that's one of the biggest things that drew me to this is the fact that we're all in like mind. We all want to do better for ourselves. And the community is helping me do that, I know for sure. Especially come out of my shell because I'm not one for being in front of a camera for the most part.
Yeah.
I think we all have a little bit of a fear of the big old bright light in our face staring at us with its all one eye.
Yeah, right.
But
Yes.
let's go to you, Kev. How do you feel about being on camera most of the times? Like, are you comfortable with it? Because I know you've been streaming for a while now.
Yeah, I've been streaming since first official stream was January in 2017, and it was just let's give it a shot. Why not? See if I like it. If I don't, really didn't lose much. Now, I started, mind you, off of a very simple setup, and I'm sure a lot of people have started this way or are still streaming this way. Is directly from the console, and I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't have chat up. I didn't have a microphone. I was just like, let's hit the share button on this PS4 controller, and let's see how it goes. And I got a lot of feedback because what I ended up doing is taking that video and from the PlayStation interface, you can push it directly to your YouTube. So I pushed it and I titled it "First Stream Ever, Yay!" What something like that. And then I got a lot of feedback from people, mixed with a hefty sprinkling of trolls. Came some really really constructive feedback that helped push me and then further my involvement of my stream setup. And a camera is something that I've never been shy about, and Horky can attest to this.
I've usually got the camera.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. I'm like, dude, are you recording this? So there was really no issue for me with being, too anxious or holding back from pulling the trigger on using a camera setup. It was just something that's so natural to me, and it was actually part of like the default things on my to-do list when I was putting together a setup for an even better stream than I started.
That's pretty good. Now, you mentioned something on the PS4 that you started on the PS4 and you pushed all your videos to YouTube.
Mhm.
What games were you playing on the PS4? Like what games were out at the time? Because I know for me, I played a lot of Grand Theft Auto 4 because it was my game with Nicola and just going through that entire story. That was one of my favorite games.
Oh, absolutely. So for me, the first game that was ever broadcasted live on Twitch was a remastered port of classic NES games, and it was called the Disney Afternoon Collection.
Okay.
And it had maybe 4 or 5 games: DuckTales 1 and 2, Chippendale 1 and 2, and then Darkwing Duck. And I was really hyped to play it because unfortunately, I don't have any of my retro consoles anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't have a good way, and I didn't get into emulation until pretty late in the game. So when I saw that they were releasing this Disney Afternoon Collection, nostalgia hit like a freight train. I had to get it. It was like $15 or so. And excuse me. I went ahead, booted it up, and then I was like, now's as good a time as any. Let's hit the share button. And I think what helped me be so quick to hit that button was that I had no expectations. I didn't know what I was doing. So in my eyes, it was just like I was playing the game. And then, the rest of the things you pick up on working on becoming a better content creator and streamer came along the way. But yeah, the first game was the Disney Afternoon Collection. I spent a lot of time with the single player campaign mode FPS games like Dishonored and Killzone. Just kind of
Killzone.
yeah,
Oh, right.
and I think that was a PS4 exclusive, and it came out on the release of which, and it was a lot of fun. And at the time, I didn't have a whole hell of a lot of um, games in my library, so I was just kind of playing through what I had, knocking it out, and then on to the next.
Now, Horkified, I saw you get a little bit of emotion there when we said, "Oh, looks like he is AFK right now." Oh no, there he is. Sorry, videos.
I was told to get some sunglasses or something like that.
I heard you get a little bit emotional during Killzone. Do you have a profound history with Killzone now?
Killzone introduced me to gamer rage.
I think we can all get some baby rage now and again, right?
Yeah, that would
baby
definitely
rage.
introduced me to that one. But no, the reason I was smiling so much, I remember the first time I hit that broadcast button on my PS4. That was absolutely Uncharted 4.
Oh yeah! Wow.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
That's a good one.
I loved that game
I
so much.
I played a bit of the first one a little bit, but I haven't really expanded it into it because it's not my typical game choice because I'm typically a FPS all the way. But how was Far Cry 4 for you?
Far Cry 4 was actually a really good game. I thought it was really well done, and it introduced into 5 as well. I really liked the change of gameplay from 3 to 4.
What was the change of gameplay exactly for some of us who don't know?
It was more mechanical in feel. It felt cleaner to play.
Yeah.
I can't really just describe it too much other than that. It just felt cleaner. It was smoother.
Smooth, yeah.
The controls felt fluid, and I didn't really feel that. Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Thank you.
There wasn't any enhancements to any of like the puzzles or figuring stuff out or enemy knowledge acknowledgement or anything like that?
There was a little bit more in the AI from what I can remember. It was
Okay.
also quite some time ago since I played 4 as well. Wow.
How many years?
I think the last time I played that was at least 4 years ago. Yeah.
A while. So you've been playing games for a while then.
I've been playing games since 13.
Wow.
I started with the original Counter-Strike Source.
Oh goodness, that is a game that I think can speak to us all. I personally remember sitting in a cafe, cyber cafe, 3-dimensional online with my brothers, and we all played CS or Counter-Strike Source, and eventually went up to 1.6 and all those fun iterations. What about you, Kev? Have you ever played Counter-Strike?
Not more than a few minutes at a time. When I would join in with my friends as a kid, we would go to LAN cafes when those were still a thing. I don't think they, at least not over here. And that's pretty much what was loaded by default on all of the systems there. And Horky knows this because he's one of the ones I went to these LAN cafes with growing up.
Oh God!
And yeah, it was just like nasty, sweaty headphones, greasy, crummy keyboards, and sit down. There were about 40 PCs, and everyone was just playing CS. So I was like, let's give this a shot. And then 3 minutes later, I'm done with this game.
Oh my God, I remember those so much. That was a sweaty fest of
Oh yeah.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, would you say that introduced you into the baby rage category of gaming?
No, you know what? I wouldn't say it did. And what introduced me to the baby rage category are the classic retro games, because unlike newer games with some indie exceptions, you have multiple checkpoints. You have the ability to save whenever you want, but you date it back to good old 8-bit NES, and you grind, push. You die. Guess you lose everything. You go back to start. And I could see, sadly, a lot of consoles broken into tiny pieces because of the rage. So that's what introduced me to the baby rage for sure.
Good to know. Good to know. Now, I don't want to go too far off topic, but I know we do have a few points that we do have to meet tonight.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk about the left coast a little bit, see of its beginnings and its futures, touch base on it. So, Kevin Horkified, as our founding fathers of the left coast stream team, the greatest stream, what do you think is the reason why you decided to make the stream team? Like, how did this come into fruition for you?
So how this all started was back during my sort of peak streaming time days, and when I mean peak, I mean I was still trying to get my groove and figure out how often I should be doing this. I have, family members to keep in mind.
Mhm.
So when I say peak, that's what I'm referring to. So when I was at my peak and I was so amped up for streaming and I loved everything about it, I'm a natural networker. So I love to network no matter what situation I'm in, no matter what setting I'm in. And I spent a lot of time doing that when I was not live. And what I had noticed, and it could just be that the luck of the draw on my mouse click, but I was encountering a lot of people that were international and on East Coast or the Midwest, and instantly I thought, man, how cool would it be if I were to meet some streamers not only in the state of California or in the Bay Area, but in the same time zone, because then I don't feel like, oh, it's 10 p.m. in California. Oh, you're in New York. Oh, it's 1 a.m. You're probably either winding down or getting ready for bed, or push it further down into international waters, and it's middle of the night there, and there's no possible opportunity for networking. And
yeah,
that ties to me directly, because the only time I really have to do this networking was when I was finished with work and I was at home and I had a few minutes here and there on my computer before I had to tend to the wife or the daughter or the house. So I was really like, these few minutes were so meaningful because it didn't come so often. So I really wanted those to be impactful conversation, something we could carry on. And not to say that you can't, but I just found it easier with the times I was able to get on. The likelihood of people being on would decrease because of the time difference, and that's how TLC was rooted. It was to foster content creators, streamers, whether you game, you do IRL, all in the same time zone. So not region locked to just the Bay Area, but I want everyone in that time zone to be able to unite with us and come together.
Not to say that we still appreciate other time zones, right? I mean, we have the
Absolutely,
East Coasters
yeah.
as well.
Also, I'm probably one of your perfect examples for that. I'm currently out in Ohio right now.
Oh, welcome from Ohio.
Yeah, exactly. So, I was born and raised in California, so, grew up with Kevin, and but I think I'm just like one of those perfect examples for what we're talking about here. I'm on the East Coast pretty much right now, so everybody can join in here. It's good times.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You said you've been friends for a while now. What age would you say you both? Well, yeah. What age would you both say you were? When
Second grade.
Second grade. Yeah.
Wow.
Second grade.
Second grade.
Long history there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Okay. And did you both play games often together, or was it more of a hang out and climb trees type of?
We did everything.
Everything?
You name it. Yeah.
I mean, literally, I think you're looking at my best friend here.
Right. That's
since day one.
Day one. Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's why Kev asked you to help develop the Left Coast website, wasn't it, Hork?
Yes. One of the things that I'm quite good with is technology.
Okay.
I'm not so much of a networker. I'm not so much of a social person, but you give me a problem with technology and I can usually figure it out.
Troubleshoot it till you get the solution.
Yeah, something about puzzles, and every single time that you're doing something troubleshooting, you're just putting the pieces together, and I think that's what drives me to figuring it out, because I'm essentially just figuring out a big puzzle.
Exactly. Do you do that for a living in terms of technician work, or what
Yes,
exactly?
actually, I'm a
Okay.
network engineer, so I
Nice.
I definitely don't have a full-time streaming position,
Oh
but
yeah.
I'm definitely in the background with some of the technical stuff. And
Yeah.
just recently, I've decided that I'm going to be continuing to start streaming here shortly. So
Okay.
the month of March was my drop dead date, so I'm going to be streaming this month.
Okay. Closer to the end or like somewhere in the middle?
Yeah, it was supposed to be more towards the top of the month, but some things came up at work that have kind of pushed that
Yeah.
timeline back a little bit.
I
So
mean, hey, things come up all the time, don't they?
Oh yeah.
exactly. So you just got to roll with the
Exactly.
punches, and it's just all right. Well, now it's going to be this day because
Okay.
there's nothing you can do about it sometimes.
So going on that, what do you guys plan for the future of TLC? Like, is there any upcoming venues you want to do? Is there like a whole meetup that you want to get the entire West Coast to go do? Like, what events are we going to be seeing in the future, and what is the future of the stream team looking like?
So as far as like local like community meetups, I'll give you kind of a 3-step process that I'm envisioning. Now the first step would be to have enough members from the different parts of the TLC territory. And so far, I think we actively have members in every part. However, some only have a small sprinkle of, and some, like California, happens to be the most robust. Now, the first step I would love to see is to have enough members spread across all of the areas, and then ultimately having someone take the lead, like how Riz and Govey take the lead both in SoCal, Riz, and then up in the Bay Area, Govey, to coordinate and facilitate these meetups. Now, what I would love to see is that happening in every territory that we have.
Okay.
So, yeah, it would be finding someone who is as enthusiastic and passionate about it as I am, and how I have selected the admins and given them their roles to take that initiative and say, hey, I'm in Washington, I'm in Oregon, I love the idea. I would love to be the one to be the liaison between getting all these people here and coming together, and then seeing those photo updates. Oh man, that would get me with the feels really hard just to see that start to happen. Now, going on to the next step, it would be um, an entire meetup together, and that would include everyone from all TLC territories. And I think that the benefit we have to that is we have a venue set, we have pretty much date set that people can plan for, and that's at TwitchCon. I think that's
Yeah.
probably the best setting to do this, because it not 99% of people probably can't just up and go
Yeah.
to a just a TLC meetup just for sake of having a meetup and getting together. I think if you have something to back it, like a big con, where there are other things
Yeah.
that you can do and make use of the time with, it's a lot easier for people to make it over. So that's kind of the, I said 3-step. That's only a 2-step of how I see things going for as far as the community meetups go.
Yeah. So essentially, TwitchCon is not an excuse, but a way to actually provoke people to come and meet up and kind of get together and meet each other. That way we can kind of get together as a stream team and kind of support each other a little bit more. Is that what you're getting at? Or
That's exactly what. Yeah,
okay.
that's what I was. Yeah.
And I like the fact that TwitchCon 2019 is going to be in San Diego. I feel as if that's going to help a
Oh,
lot of people be able to make their way over there. I, for one, am only 2 hours out, so I'm able to just drive on over.
Yeah, that's
Um,
perfect.
Plus, there's plenty to do. I know there's Hotel Coronado. That's like a haunted hotel that you can go check out. There's the San
Hmm.
Diego Zoo, just in case you really don't want to go to another day at the con. I know sometimes I'm burnt out of conning,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, I gotta get away from people. But Orcified, how do you feel about going to cons? Like, are you a con goer typically, or can you find
not
the time to
normally,
go?
but it
Not
kind
normally.
of feeds into my introvertedness. I'm definitely trying to come out of my shell a little bit more, and this is one of the things that's helping me do that. So, I am absolutely enjoying this so far, and I'm going to continue to do it. And this is actually going to be my first con of any type this coming September for TwitchCon.
I can't wait to meet you, man. It's gonna be
a blast. It's gonna be a
fun.
blast.
It's gonna be fun. We'll have to get some dinner sometime.
Absolutely, we'll have to get something good going for this time. We got a couple months before things start getting locked into stone, so we'll have to come up with something here soon.
Okay, Horkified, I have a question for you. How
Yes,
did you
sir.
get the name Horkified, aka Eagle? How'd you get that name?
So there's actually quite a few nicknames that come across with me. The original one, which most people don't know, is just Talonies, and that one came from Kev and his sister back in the day when when we were doing a sleepover. For all of you older people out there, and I don't even know if it's still a brand, but for anybody who remembers Bum Equipment sweatpants.
Oh, goodness God.
Okay, do you remember how loose and baggy those things were?
100%, my dude.
Yeah, so I had those on because obviously those were the in thing to wear.
Yeah.
And they looked so bad on me that apparently I got the name Pantalones, which eventually got shortened to just Talonies. So for the longest time throughout my life, it was Talonies. And then when it finally got into the gaming thing, I just kind of played off of my last name, which is Horky.
Okay.
Surprisingly enough, so it's Horkified. So technically, if you get shot in the head, you just got Horkified.
Oh, goodness. I don't
So,
know how I feel
you know,
about that.
Well, you know, when you're in game, it was fun to run around and just say Horkified and just keep going.
And with the games that back then, you could actually hear the last moments of the person dying. And you could just hear the rage.
It was quite wonderful for me, I won't lie.
Oh, goodness. Now, Kev, I know your name is Kevin, but how did you kind of adapt your name to Kevster? Like, is your last name starting with the last half of your screen name, or how did that come about?
No, it has no tie-ins to my full name at all. Obviously, Kev is just the abbreviated version, and then the stir part. You know what? I don't have like any true like reasoning for it being that way. I mean, in retrospect, if you think about it now, it's kind of like the California thing, like surfer dude, like what's up, Horkster, what's up, Kevster? Yeah, so maybe I, if I were to pick a reason now, I'd probably say that's the reason why. But I just a little bit of backstory. Even Horkified here was given a nickname by my family. I don't even have a nickname. I've never ever had a nickname for up until now. I still don't have one.
It was always Kev.
It's just a shortened version of my name. I was like, but I want a nickname. But then it's just nothing ever happened. So
Yeah.
I didn't really put a lot of thought into creating something like a nickname and then tying it in with maybe interests or something. So I was like, you know what? Let's just do Kevster, like the Kevster, like why not? And
I mean, why not?
Yeah. So it's pretty basic. Didn't require a lot of brain power on that one. So
Mm-hmm. Now, Kev, while playing newer games such as Anthem or Path of Exile, will you still be streaming retro games at all in the future? Like, you talk about how you love all these retro games. I personally have not seen you play any retro games recently. Will that be a thing in the near future that we can expect?
You know what? I always say that I'm going to reintroduce retro into my streams, and all I end up doing is just continuing to kick that can down the road. So
I think I have a problem with that one too, Kev. It doesn't help that we hop on and we start playing co-op together.
Exactly, and so I do want to reintroduce it to the streams. They're so much fun to play.
Mm-hmm.
I have a convenient way of playing it because, like I mentioned a little bit earlier on the show, I was just recently introduced to how emulation works and how to get everything set up. And a buddy of mine helped me put together a Raspberry Pi, and
Okay.
we put all the ROMs on there, and I can easily play it. But I think the reason, if there's a subliminal reason why I'm not doing it, I think it's because I enjoy the grind and then the continuous results of what you're grinding for with these newer games,
Yeah.
whether it's loot drops or leveling up your character. I love RPG elements, and
Apex packs.
where exactly. And then when you tie in retro games, you're grinding just to get to the end, with the exception of some retro games that have RPG elements and you do level up and such. But
Yeah.
I think subliminally that's what's stopping me from plugging in the emulator and playing those retro games, is that I want to continue progress and I want to continue grinding on the characters that I'm kind of building.
Now, on that grind, I want to know real quick, out of all the games that are out, all the games that are past, present, and possibly future, what are the top 5 games that you would say are your personal favorites, that if you had to only play those games for the rest of your life, which ones would those be? And I want you both to answer. I want to know what games you guys really like and what you kind of like.
Okay. So my all-time favorite game, and it's been this way since the day I first played it, is actually a PS2 title. It's called PsyOps. PSI
Oh, wow.
dash ops. Yeah,
I have not
PsyOps.
played that in a hot minute.
Oh my, what an amazing experience that was. And how much replayability it had for me is insane, because I'm not one to replay a game, even for New Game Plus, whatever. I want to put my conquests aside and then attack the new game. I never, if it's on PC, it's uninstall when I beat it. I don't chase achievements. I don't chase trophies. So it makes it really easy for me to let go once I've beaten it. For me, it's finishing the game. But yeah, number one, and maybe we can back with Horky and give our power rankings each, alternate, or it will alternate between turns. My number one is PsyOps on the PlayStation 2.
Okay, and then
that's a good one.
What is your number one?
Okay, let's see. I think I'm gonna have to probably go with Destiny, the first one.
The first Destiny?
After the first major patch.
Oh yeah, because that.
So after Taken King.
After Taken King?
I think. Yeah, so Taken King, once Taken King dropped and the original Destiny got its big fix, that game put me through hundreds of hours of game time.
Now, why was it specifically during the Taken King and not within the earlier parts of Destiny? Was it just there wasn't enough content, or was it because the content was just kind of repetitive and the same?
The game was broken when it first came out. It was not fun. It crashed for me all the time. So because every time I had to connect up to one of their servers, it would always just drop me just randomly. So
yeah,
I can account most of my anger towards that game. Okay. At least the beginning to that. Because if I can't play the game, I can't play the game.
Yeah, no, 100%. I feel you there.
And then once the Taken King came out, I had a couple buddies in Santa Cruz that played quite religiously like I did. And we just had a squad of guys that we'd hang out with every single night, and we'd just go out and keep doing that over and over.
I mean,
so I think for me, it's going to have to probably be Destiny Taken King.
You gotta get those Friday night raid nights, right?
Oh my God, it was a thing. Oh my God, was that a thing? It's
always a thing. I can remember me personally, I would always be running Vault of Glass with me and my buddies. God. And it was, at the time, my favorite raid, and it still is my favorite Destiny raid of all time, is the Vault of Glass, just because it was so much fun to me.
Oh, no, you are absolutely correct. That is absolutely my favorite.
Yeah,
it's
simple enough, but it had so much complexity to it, where you're just like, at the very beginning, the first time you would run the raid when no one completed the raid yet, you were just like, let me do this part. How do we get past it? And then afterwards you'd strategize in the tower and just kind of figure out how to do it. Yeah,
no, if you had anybody that was supposed to be doing something that didn't know what they were supposed to be doing, it was one of the most infuriating things, because you could spend 30 to 40 minutes on one single area just trying to wait for it to come through.
Yeah.
And if they mess up their part, it's
team wipe.
Yep. All right, everybody jump off.
Everybody wipe. Now, Kev, what's your second favorite game? What would you say it would be? Do you like Destiny at all, or is it a different game possibly?
It's a different game for sure, and I know Horky tried to reel me into the Destiny hype, the first one when it was released, and I did
absolutely
enjoy.
tried.
Yeah, I mean, I always enjoy playing co-op games, and this one particularly was fun because I was playing in a co-op setting. However, it never really stuck, and then I tried it again just this year or late last year with Destiny 2. And again, I focused on the main storyline, and then I stopped playing. I didn't do any of like the raids or none of that. So
Just
To be
because
fair, I'm not a huge fan of Destiny 2 either.
mhm.
you're not a huge fan of Destiny 2, why is that?
I used to be. I used to be a heavy fan, but I don't know if anybody really followed Destiny 2 when it first launched, but they had their Eververse system that was just way over inserted into the game. And then they also had the it was the introduction of the throttling of your XP after amount of time played. So
Oh goodness.
I am a grinder. That is what I do. I could play a game for 12 hours, look at it and go, haha, I just did that. When they're about to throttle me just because of the amount of time I've played, I'm sorry. That hurts my feelings a little bit here.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be throttling me because I'm putting time into your game.
Yeah, the fact that you would finish a raid and then afterwards you don't get any of the loot, any of the equipment, nothing afterwards, and you're just like, well, I'm just gonna run it.
Yeah,
Just for fun.
exactly. I mean, there's a certain point where you're just like, all right, well, I've hit my cap.
Yeah.
And that's not what I want to say at the end of a game. I want to say that was super satisfying. I want to leave on that note.
Yeah. Quick, real side note, real quick from the question of top five. Porkified, how did you feel about the LFG website that wasn't officially made by Destiny? Do you feel as if that improved the raids and getting people, or did you feel as if that was just kind of like impersonal and like, oh, I need an extra, let's just pull someone out of a bag and stick them in the spot of one of our friends?
I actually thought it was kind of a creative idea, to be honest.
Yeah.
One of the things we had an issue with was always trying to use the Bungie site, and they always wanted to control everything about it.
Yeah.
And the introduction of the LFG definitely made it a lot easier to just pull someone random if you really needed that. But at that time, I kind of had my crew, so I didn't really need to use it. But we usually found a good member here and there when we were
Yeah.
using that.
And then run it later with your friend and kill that last boss. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we got to drop here.
Yep. No, I feel
And then we'll
those.
start up with the other guys and start at the boss and get our loots and call it.
Oh yeah. No, I
Don't tell
remember.
anybody.
I remember getting on the LFG, and I would actively search for people who were only on the final boss, and none of the other stuff because I only wanted to farm that final boss over and over again. And
Yep.
at the time, I didn't have any friends playing on my console. Everyone else was on the other console because I was PS4. And I grew up on PlayStation my whole life, but everyone was on playing Xbox. I'm like, why are you playing Xbox? PS is so much better.
No, I'm a PlayStation boy too.
Yeah.
I've always been. I had an Xbox for a while. Just for all the console specific releases like Uncharted for
Yeah.
PlayStation, and then you have Gears of War for Xbox. I love the Gears of War series. I think it's a great series. It's just I don't get the Xbox for
Yeah.
the Xbox. I
Yeah.
get it for the drops. of the
Halo.
games. Yes, exactly.
Mhm,
Perfect
mhm.
example.
Exactly. So with that, what would you say is your second favorite game then? Would it be a game that we mentioned, or would it be a game on one of the other consoles that we talked about?
Actually, it's still going to be on PC, but it is for me on PC. I know it's out there for Xbox and PlayStation as well, but I got to give the shout out to Dead Cells.
Dead Cells. That is a big game making some huge waves. I was really wanting to get into it myself.
I kid you not. I started it on a Friday. By the Saturday, by Sunday, I had gone through and beaten the boss. I did it. I got through the entire thing. I was like, I need to do this again, and so I just kept going and going. And the game is wonderful.
Yeah.
I love that lo-fi look of it. It doesn't
Yeah.
take much for anything. It's a wonderful game,
Mhm.
and the replay value for me, I can randomly. I that is absolutely my number two.
Yeah. Do you play it on PC then?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I play controller with the
Yeah.
PC on one for sure, but
Um,
um,
how do you feel about it being adapted onto the Nintendo Switch?
you know
Like,
what? The more the merrier.
yeah,
I haven't played it myself on, but it's a good enough game that I think everybody should be able to play whatever console they have. It's not a resource intensive game whatsoever,
hmm
so anybody can play it on anything. And
yeah,
that's I think what makes it so popular as well is you don't need to be a multimillionaire to play the ultra graphics for,
yeah,
Anthem or any of these brand new games that have come out yesterday.
yeah. No, I think I'm gonna, with your recommendation, making it your second choice as a game. I might actually stop by GameStop and get my own copy, get a
It,
used one because
it's
I don't want to spend that much money.
Yeah, no, it's a wonderful game. Just be prepared to see a little bit of fury in your eyes at the very beginning because it,
Oh
it has an
yes.
RPG type setting. You build yourself up. So you keep dying, of course, but you also build up your character
Oh yeah,
each time you die.
of
And
course.
that's what I thought was the biggest win for me is it wasn't a up you died restart from the beginning. You restarted with what you just saved. And I think that's what kept on bringing me back to it.
Yeah. And then Kev, what would be your third choice?
No, I'm on my second.
You're on your second? I thought
Oh,
second
I think I
was.
stole that.
Yeah,
Oh, you
Horky.
stole
Anyway.
that? Oh,
I
Horky.
think I stole it.
No worries. It's fun. It's funny that he did because Dead Cells is also on my list.
It is?
And yeah, we'll get to that when
Yeah.
it comes up in the rankings. But number two for me is a game that was developed by Ubisoft Montreal,
Okay.
and it's a smaller game. It is called Child of Light.
Never heard
Now,
that one.
yeah, it wasn't terribly big, and I played it on the PS Vita. That's how I played that one.
Okay.
And
And fancy.
it's a platformer with heavy RPG elements,
Okay.
with upgrading your skill level and overall HP and your attacks. And it's a turn-based. It has a unique turn-based battle system to where I'm trying to reference another game that's similar to it,
Like,
but it's not coming to mind now.
what is it called? Breach? Uh,
Yeah,
something.
yeah, exactly. Where your turns come up on this like
Yeah.
conveyor belt looking thing, and then you can when your turn's up next, and it's pretty fast paced until it's your turn, and then you select kind of what attack you want to do.
Yeah.
Do you want to heal? But it is a 2D side scrolling platformer with amazing art and even more amazing music to it. Like, I'm a sucker for a good soundtrack that goes with a game, and that just a little teaser for Dead Cells. I am in love with the soundtrack, and that helped
God, so good.
me with the yeah, it helped me overall with the how much I truly love that game. But Child of Light, and according to the chat here from Govey, it's available if you have Discord Nitro with the game pack included. So if you do, check out Child of Light. Again, 2D side-scrolling platformer with a unique turn-based RPG battle style. That
Yeah.
would be my number two.
Outside of Discord Nitro, where else can it be available? Is it on Steam or do you have to go find it on the internet?
No, it's available on Steam.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Just
you can get that on Steam.
For anyone viewing who wants to try out Child of Light, I mean,
Mhm.
it's available to you on Steam, so go ahead and give it a whirl.
Yeah, give it a whirl. It's a lot of fun. It's not intimidating. It has a very cute style to it. Not cute like as in a chibi anime, but really like a nice sketched portrait style art, which is really nice. And I'm looking on Steam right now. It's $14.99, so
That's
definitely check
not a
it out.
bad price.
Yeah,
Would you say it's worth the money?
absolutely. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, 100%.
Alrighty. And then
I think it was a humble bundle at one point too. So might check your humble bundle.
Ah, good
That
point.
is-
Someone might have a
true.
key. Someone
Yeah.
might have a key hiding in their
Go
sets.
yeah, everybody who's listening, go ahead and find a friend who has a humble bundle and get a key. See if we can get some cross help from each other, save a little bit of money, right?
I
Yeah,
think I might
absolutely.
actually have one of those keys. That's why it's coming to mind. So
So if you want to try Child of Light on Humble Bundle, go ahead and hit up Horkified.
let's see if I still have it. I don't want to be telling everybody I've got this thing and then don't have it.
Anyways, Kev,
Yeah.
what would be your third since we had Horkified go back to back. Let's have you go back to back. What would be your third choice?
Yeah, no worries. My third choice is a game, um, kind of similar to Child of Light, and it was very long or as resource intensive. But it's a title called Bastion, Bastion,
Okay.
and it's an amazing game again with a beautiful, beautiful soundtrack. The level design is amazing, and it's a little bit of a kind of canted top-down action adventure game with an
Okay.
amazing story. Yeah, and again it has slight RPG elements, and you're probably starting to notice a trend here with those um, RPG elements and how much I truly enjoy them. But that's what you can expect out of Bastion. It took me, I would say, roughly 5 hours to beat, so it can be done in one sitting. And it's truly a gorgeous game. The artwork, the music, and that was one of the few that has actually some replayability for me personally.
Okay. Orcified, did you find that code yet?
I don't think the Child of Light was ever put on there, so I guess I'm a liar. I'm sorry.
Oh, how dare you? It's okay.
I'm sorry.
I think we can all forgive.
I was
Orcified.
trying to share. I was trying to share.
We can't crucify you for wanting to share what you got. But
Everybody keeps telling me sharing is caring.
exactly right. What would you, if you want to share with us your third favorite? What would that be?
Yeah, that was actually going to be pretty easy for me. It's going to be Borderlands 2.
Okay.
Mm.
I loved that game. I went hammer on that game, and I still go hammer to that day, to this day. It's something I can hop into at any time. The artwork of that game was something that took me a while to get used to, but after I got used to it, I loved it.
Yeah.
And just the randomization of all the weapons, you almost never get anything twice. So in terms of a looter shooter, which from talking over some of my favorite games, I think honestly, I am a looter shooter fan, and Borderlands 2 has definitely made that list for me there.
Alrighty, I think we can all like Borderlands 2. I haven't played it myself, but I did play Borderlands, the first one, before, unfortunately, my A01 PS4 finally died.
Oh,
Rip.
no.
No.
Right? So with that, what would let's take a quick side note real quick, because I actually want to get a little bit more info about what exactly is happening with the left coast. Is there going to be any plans for TwitchCon 2019 if we're all going to meet up and go get some dinner or anything like that? Are we all going to hit up the zoo? Like, what are we possibly planning, if there's any plans in the talks right now?
So there are really early stage talks going on with organizers for the festivities at TwitchCon.
Okay.
One thing that we can guarantee is that during one of the nights, we would like to gather and have dinner somewhere, dinner and or drinks. Recap what our experiences from the day, catch up on virtual relationships we've been building that have been leading up to it. So we know for sure that we're going to do that. We would like to try and maximize this time that has people from all over Oregon, from Washington, from Alaska, and a lot from up in the Bay Area will be traveling down as well. And then Horky coming in from Ohio. We want to optimize and maximize the time we have together without being overwhelming or without having our standards be too high, or for our expectations be too high. So we're trying to find that balance. However, we do want to definitely have dinner. And then we want to add on maybe a sprinkle of a few things that we can do outside of the con itself.
Okay. That actually sounds pretty enjoyable. I can always go for some Korean barbecue personally.
Oh,
yeah, there you go.
I think I just made everybody hungry in chat when I said that. But what about you, Horky? What kind of foods do you like? What's your favorite?
So I think
style
one of my top definitely has to be the Korean barbecue.
Korean barbecue?
More likely, or more along the lines of, I really like that family setting. you're all sitting around the table. You're all cooking the food together, and it's more personal than some of the just someone brings you a plate and sets it in front of you, and everybody
Yeah.
starts chopping. I really enjoy that. Just chilling with the fam. And I think that if we could possibly find a way, and I've been trying to think about it in the back of my head as well, trying to get some type of, you know, don't hold me to this at this point, but a beach residence that we can all meet up at in San
Okay.
Diego, that
Okay.
we can have like a beach get together and
Yeah.
have a barbecue. So no one's required to be there. No one's
Yeah.
required to do anything. But if you want to come sit on the beach and have a drink and some food with us, that sounds like a good time to me.
I would be more than happy to enjoy that, being a Southern Orange County liver,
Mm.
close to the shore. So I can say that it is very relaxing being close to a beach and just having a barbecue and eating good food, and then just talking to a lot of cool people that are just like-minded and very friendly, that you said, Horkified, that we're building relationships with. So I feel as if that might be something I want to go check out. If you do that, just keep me informed, okay?
Yeah, and even if we don't have the beach place that I'm thinking of having ready for everybody, we could at least just go to the beach and do it ourselves. We
Yeah,
don't need a place
just
to
go
do
out and
that.
have a bonfire.
Yeah, the only thing
Right.
we need
Yeah.
is company, beverages, and some good food, and I'll be set. I know I would.
Yeah. What about you, Kev? What kind of foods are you into?
So one of my top favorites is actually Mediterranean food,
Really?
Mediterranean cuisine. Yeah, I love that it has this savory it hits you with the savory flavors from the different meats that they use, and then things can go 0 to 100 real fast and go super like refreshing and still a bit savory with their salads and everything. So,
Yeah.
and I do love lamb, and that's one of my favorite
Oh,
meats, and that's a
if you,
top contender in Greek or
yeah,
Mediterranean cuisine.
yeah, because they believe that, well, not they believe, I'm just going off of what I learned from Hollywood with Big Fat Greek Wedding. If you don't eat meat, you eat lamb.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So that's definitely my favorite cuisine, and it's something that if the age old, what do you want to eat? I don't know. You pick. No, you pick. For me, it's if the wife can't decide, we're going Greek.
Oh goodness,
Going Greek, or we're going something Mediterranean.
gotta go Greek. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
everyone likes their Euro sometimes.
Right. Oh yeah. So good.
Anyways, let's go back to you, Horkified. I want to know what your fourth favorite game is. What would you say would that be?
Oh, you know what? I honestly have to say it's probably the Spider-Man PS4 game.
Spider-Man
And
PS4.
and the reason I say that is because Spider-Man just happens to be my favorite Marvel universe
Yeah.
character. So
Just to
there's
just
definitely some personal feels for that game for
yeah.
me.
Just to
And
clarify, that's the most recent Spider-Man, am I right?
yes, like
Okay.
they started off with that open world back in PS2 days
Yeah.
with
Hmm.
that first Spider-Man. I've been waiting for a Spider-Man like this one since that one.
Okay. Okay.
I've been waiting for that open world, and once they introduced that, I was all over it.
Yeah.
All over it.
Interesting.
So, yeah, that one's got a more personal touch to me on that one.
Because you can really connect with Spider-Man and really see what goes on in his life day to day, as well as fighting crime.
You literally play as him through this, so you
Yeah.
have his schedule. You
Yeah.
have to go to work. You have to, go save the city. And while you're trying to save the city, Aunt May gives you a call, so you got to go help her out. But then while you're doing that, MJ calls you.
It's
It's
like
exactly what I expected from Spider-Man.
it's a second life.
Yes.
It's like living his life. So I can see why a lot of people on Twitch have played it, and a lot more have just enjoyed the life out of the game.
Yeah, it was a wonderful game.
Yeah.
It was one of the only games on the PlayStation that I have platinumed.
Really? Wow.
Yes, I have
Nice.
absolutely
is a-
platinumed that game.
That is a great achievement. I would hold that with great honor. But
It's
what
the
about
only one that exists.
it is the only one that exists for Plat. Kev, back to you. Did you play the Spider-Man game at all? And what did you think?
No, so I haven't played it myself. I'm
No?
a little Yeah, I'm pretty far behind with games on console, among a lot of other things. But I haven't had a chance to yet play the new Spider-Man game. It definitely has my interest, and I want to get around to it at some point for sure.
I mean, you got to go at your own pace, am I right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And
Exactly.
if you don't go at your own pace and someone else's pace, you can't really have time to enjoy the games that you do.
Exactly, and that's the whole point of gaming, man. Is you enjoy it. If you
Yeah.
enjoy doing it, no matter what it is, you keep rocking it.
Yeah. With
Yeah.
that, what would your fourth favorite game be?
So for me, number 4 is probably gonna have to be Far Cry 4.
Far Cry
Um,
4.
yeah, and it was my first introduction into the Far Cry series.
Okay.
And to be 100% honest, that's the only Far Cry game I've ever played. Um, and I may have subtly hinted this before, but I typically stick to a linear main storyline path when I'm playing games and beating them.
Yeah.
With Far Cry 4, I found myself, without even knowing, attacking different side quests and challenges that were available, and it felt natural. And that was the alarm in my head that was sounding off, saying this is definitely a game that you're digging quite a bit.
Yeah.
So and I think I use I use a tool online. It's a website that takes a poll of people and how long it takes them to beat different games.
Okay.
And
Kind of
they
like a
they
speedrunners.
yeah, a little bit. Like there's like a category that's done quick, not necessarily speed run quick, but like the fastest possible way.
Yeah.
There's one that's like completion is 100%, DLC included. So I usually look at the average time of just like the main game, and the website is called howlongtobeat.com. And
.com.
yeah, and I actually use that when I'm structuring the games that I plan on streaming, so I have an idea of how long it'll take me to get through them. But anyway, so with howlongtobeat.com, Far Cry 4 said it should take the usual FPS main story single player campaigns, roughly 10 to 12 hours, maybe 15 hours tops for all the content for the main story. I had looked at my Steam account and I had been playing Far Cry 4 for over 26 hours. And I go, "Oh, dear God, that's got to be a sign, if there ever was one, to indicate that I really enjoy this game, that I'm willing to divert from the main storyline, not even realize it, that I'm just doing a bunch of side stuff."
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Far Cry 4 is for me.
Orcified, your turn.
Okay, so I think for the final pick, I think it's
Final
going to have to
pick.
be OG Super Smash Brothers on the N64.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That is the
And-
game that broke families.
That's exactly why I love that game so much. It was one of the games that, back in the day, it was one of the multiplayer games that you could
Yeah.
all sit down in front of a TV and play.
Yeah.
And I had a couple friends that lived on my street, and we'd all just go get together and go hang out at the biggest TV on the block and go play some N64. And
Yeah.
I think that one also just holds a special place in my heart because, Pikachu.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna ask who's your favorite character, but I think we all know now.
I'm a Pikachu.
Yeah. Who
I'm absolutely.
who were some of your friends playing as whenever you would play Pikachu?
They always like to play Mario and then Donkey Kong. The Donkey Kong one definitely made me,
Yeah.
gamer rage.
Baby rage.
Yeah. No, what was and Link.
And
They
Link?
always,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So, those top three, and then, me being the Pikachu.
Yeah. Now, out of all of them, who won the most?
I would love to lie to you all and say that it was me. But no, our Donkey Kong player was definitely the top player.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a way with that character that just game-ending events.
Okay. Okay. And then, what was your favorite variant in the Super Smash Brothers? Was that the first game that featured variants of like Tiny Melee or any of those, or was that the Super Smash
No.
Brothers Melee?
I think that
was
yeah.
Melee.
It was Melee
Yeah.
that? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
so I
wrong.
think with the original we were given a platformer type area
Yeah.
and a couple characters that ran across the platform.
Okay.
And I always played without items because
Yeah.
I felt items kind of cheapened the blow. But
The home
I
run
also
bat.
now I know some people would give me flack for that. So I also have to put in there with a caveat that I love when you have every single item and it's overly excessive with 300% health. Then it's just funny.
That is funny because just everyone's flying left and right.
Oh, and it's great because you have these guys are like 50% and you're just throwing a little bomb at them and then you just see them
Yeah.
right across the map. And it's just one of the most satisfying things you can do.
My goodness. I have not played that in quite a while, and if I would have busted out, I guarantee my brother would want to play that with me.
Oh, I feel it.
Yeah.
Give me a call when it comes out. I'll fly down there and that too.
Oh goodness, am I gonna have to find an N64 and bring it to TwitchCon?
Oh,
I think
Now you've said it out loud.
we gotta do that. I gotta find an N64
boy.
and bring it to TwitchCon and get Super Smash Brothers. Play
oh,
some
that'd be
classic
amazing.
Yep, I'm taking a note of this. That's actually happening now.
That's happening. Oh goodness! Now I
Yeah.
can't back out. Oh, at least I didn't bet money on it though.
No, that's okay because I'll help you find this. We'll make this.
Okay, good.
We'll make it work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we will
We'll-
absolutely make
We'll
this
make
work.
it work. Kev, have you ever played Super Smash? Obviously.
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, I spent a bit of time playing it too. A lot of that with Horky, and I was the Link user with that one because I like ranged attacks. So he would use his grappling hook or his bow, or throw bombs. But yeah, Link was probably my most favorite, and the one who I wish I could use well was Ness.
Oh yeah, Ness.
Because he can shoot that that
The
electricity
fire.
bolt and the
Yeah.
fire, yeah, and
Fire and the Thunder.
yeah, it always looks like he was about to have an aneurysm with his animation, because his whole body would shake and he's like trying to control in his head, leaving you vulnerable while this slow ass lightning bolt just kind of circles the map or the level.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I was definitely a Link user primarily, and then if I had to pick a favorite second, it'd be Kirby.
Kirby? Nah, Kirby
Yeah.
speaks to my heart. I remember
Yeah.
playing. The first time I ever met Kirby was Super Nintendo when I played Kirby's Nightmare Dreamland, and that was
Good
after
game,
that
man.
I was like, I have to
Mm.
play this character all the time in any game because he is just best.
Yeah.
But with
I'm
that,
you there.
what would your fifth game be, Kev?
So the fifth one on this power ranking list would be the one that Horky had up a little higher on, as it says. That's Dead Cells.
Dead Cells.
I've had the game for a few months actually, since towards the end of last year, but didn't actually start playing it until the past few weeks. And my God, what a beautifully frustrating game that Dead Cells is. The movement is wonderful. The music tied into it is amazing. The level design, I mean, it goes it goes way deeper than your typical like indie side scroller,
Yeah.
where you can actually have different paths that you can take, and then the RPG elements that Horkified mentioned were amazing in that, in a sense, it gave you the frustrating and aggravating nostalgia of a retro game, meaning you die, you go back to the beginning. However, any blueprints or any remarkable items that you have unlocked remain, and you can still use those, but you'll have to grind your way back through, and that helps introduce you to the different enemies that you'll come across and what their weak points are, how to get away and how to dodge without taking any damage. And it also gives you a nice heads up on the bosses that you have to fight. So like Horkified again mentioned, there are 3 bosses, and my God, did I almost snap my Switch, because I played it on the Switch, mind you. I almost snapped my Switch dead in half over my leg 1,000 times. I was ready to just destroy the console. That's how frustrating it was. But you know what it did? I kept going back to it, and I eventually got through it to the final boss. Figured out kind of what supplemental weapons and skills and buffs I could use,
Yeah.
and then boom, take them out.
Nice.
Electric whip for the win.
I'm definitely gonna have to pick up that game if it's on both your lists because this just sounds like a great game to play.
It honestly deserved all the awards that it
Yeah,
got and all the praise that it received.
yeah,
I was a little skeptical as well. I was like, how can it be that it? I normally turn off the music on my games and put on my own. I absolutely left the music on for this game.
yeah.
Kev's not overselling it when he says the that soundtrack goes perfectly with the game.
And I feel as if most games actually lack in music because music is a very important of the game, important element of the game because the music actually makes you feel the boss battles. I can remember back on Game Boy when you were playing Pokemon. Anytime you got in a fight, that iconic fight song just got you like hyped, and you're just like, "All right, we're gonna fight."
Yeah,
So,
this time. This is happening now.
yeah,
Mhm.
okay, I'm definitely gonna have to pick it up as soon as I can. But I do want to go back to TwitchCon. I know that we already talked about what exactly is possibly gonna be happening. Are we having any plans for like shared rooming or anything like that? Is anybody gonna be orchestrating that? Any of our coordinators or anything like that, just to make sure that as many people can come down as possible, so we can potentially get as many left coasters to kind of meet up, get together, have dinner, enjoy each other's company, and kind of get to know each other a little bit more. Is there any plans of that sorts in the works?
That's a great question. I'm glad you brought that up because it serves as a reminder to me, and I want to get with the admins to reach out and FYI, we have all of these discussions um, in our Discord. So do join if you're not already part of the server, and you can see all these updates that
Yeah.
we have. But there was one of our members was trying to set up a 10-person Airbnb,
Okay.
um, and he did this on his own. He sent the message. He took the initiative to ask on his own. Didn't consult with any of us, and that's absolutely fine. And I think that's a wonderful idea. I would like to add some structure to it and have some of our members with a lead role to kind of throw that out there and see if they can work closely with whoever's interested. That way, it can happen as smooth as possible. We would love to have any method to make it easier for people to come by and cut costs for accommodations. So that is something that's in the works, and once we're ready to start rolling it out, you'll see the updates in our Discord.
That sounds like an amazing thing. I would
Yeah.
very much like to keep in touch with that because I know me personally, I would like to room with somebody and just kind of get to know them a little bit better, just to kind of be there with some of my fellow left coasters. And hell, I think we can all kind of cut costs here and there just to kind of save some money since we're already shelling out the tickets and food. So
Certainly, yeah.
yeah. So me personally, I know I can save the money. So I will more than likely be happily grouping up with some people as soon as we're able to talk that out and see what's going on.
Perfect.
But yeah,
Yeah, it's also been something that's been in the back of my mind. So it's kind of that same thing that I was a giant place at close to the beach.
Yeah.
See if anybody would want to stay over there.
Yeah.
It's still up in the air. It is still quite a bit of time away, but it absolutely is in the works, and I think it's going to be a great thing for a lot of people because not everybody has just random throwable money to just go out and just say, "Hey, let's go get this hotel," because there'll be a point where everything will just kind of slow down,
Yeah.
Mhm.
100%.
and not everybody's going to be able to find something. So
Yeah.
it would be nice to be able to have the options to be able to, hey, I know you can't make it to that hotel, but we've got this extra room over here that you can come stay.
Speaking of options, also what could potentially work is if we had carpooling options. That way, if people didn't want to spend the money on Uber or Lyft, they could potentially hook up with other local left coasters that were like, "Hey, are you going to TwitchCon? Maybe we can go together, and I can show up at your place, or you can show up and pick us up, and all that kind of stuff." So maybe that might be a good idea as well. Is get some talking about carpooling and such.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And some of the current active members have also reached out and said, "Hey, I live over here, so if you guys want to all meet at my house, we can carpool from there. Whether it's a carpool of them all sharing an Uber or that whoever lives there drives. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely something that we want to mention as well. Something a lot of people won't even think about. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up.
I feel as if the Uber is a little bit more efficient than actually driving over and parking, because the parking last year was somewhat atrocious. I'm not gonna lie. That's
Hmm.
why I was super glad that on the second and third day I personally was Ubering, just because I was not about to go park in another stall and wait an hour to finally find a spot and get out of there.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
other than that, what else would you guys say could possibly be improved other than the parking solution and everything like that?
The a bad thing about it, and you 100% of the people there was the lines and the security that was in
Yeah,
place, and it was just incredibly unorganized, zero structure. Um, security was it wasn't sparse, it was just misplaced. So a lot of the people where they had these barricades kind of blocking off the metal detectors that weren't in use,
yeah,
were just kind of making their own lane, and
yeah.
I didn't notice anyone stopping anyone, and that was a little concerning because that's the point of having
Security.
these metal, yeah, security and the metal
Yeah,
detectors is so that you can get properly searched before going in. So definitely the line, and Twitch realized that right off the bat too. Just a few hours into the first con or into the first day, they sent out an email apologizing for the tremendously long waits on the street and trying to get in.
yeah.
That not only did they extend the con that day another 2 hours, I believe,
Hmm.
but they also allowed people who had the 1 day pass to show up over the weekend again.
Oh,
So
that's great.
yeah, so that
I did
was
not know
really,
that.
yeah. So they definitely know that they messed up with that, and I'm oh goodness, am I hoping that they have a big focus on that as they're starting to set things up for all the
Yeah.
logistics over at the San Diego Convention Center. Because I've been to San Diego many times, have family down over there. However, I've never been to the convention center. So
Yeah.
So a little tip for anybody who's listening right now. Um,
yeah,
I had a buddy who lived in San Diego for pretty much all of his life out in the beginning. And he said, if you're trying to do something with the convention center, find somewhere near the trolley. No one's going to be taking the trolley as much as everybody's going to be trying to drive. So if you have a spot that's near one of those trolley entrances, you should be pretty much set, because that trolley would drop you right in front of the convention center. All you got to do is cross the street.
nice. That's funny you mentioned
That's
that because that's how I traveled to TwitchCon last year. I was lucky enough to have it in my area, and knowing the local public transport, we have something that's called a light rail system over here,
yeah.
and the light rail station that's closest to me was very close, not far at all, a few miles, and it's a short 17-minute ride with all the stops. And as soon as it hits the stop you need, you literally hit a crosswalk upon exiting the light rail straight into the San Jose Convention Center. So that's really good insider info that only a local would know, because that light rail was empty except for me and a few of the regulars, some of the elderly doing like grocery shopping and stuff.
Oh, the
But no,
elderly one.
yeah,
Grocery shopping.
yeah, no con attendees were on that light rail
Are you
except me.
are you sure the elderly weren't going to the loot cave?
Oh, you know what? Maybe they were
Or
trying to get those
maybe
tradable pins.
maybe they just came for the loot cave and that's why they're elderly, because that line was
Oh, I was so upset that I couldn't get any commemorative gear
yeah.
because by day two they were sold out of
Yeah.
the San Jose branded gear.
Hmm.
Now they did assure people, and they came through on it because in December they made it available on their Amazon store. And I ended up picking up one of the hoodies that I wanted that said TwitchCon 2018 San Jose.
Is that the
Uh,
rainbow one or more of the?
yeah, it was the rainbow one.
Okay, cool, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one of those too for me and my girlfriend. Um,
Oh, nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I actually did. I not gonna lie, found some friends in line, but I didn't want to join them, so I actually made my way to the back. Luckily, it was still only a 2 hour wait for me. So
Oh,
first day
Yeah.
was 2 hours, and I'm like, okay, I can live with 2 hours of my life being sapped away from a line. But
Yeah. It
it
was
was
bad.
it was a great chance for me because I met a lot of my other Twitch friends now, and a lot of different people and streamers. So even
Mhm.
waiting in something as simple as a line, you can have plenty of opportunity to connect, network, enjoy the company of other people, and all
Mhm.
that fun stuff. So
Definitely.
yeah, but
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm excited for, because I haven't been to. So I'm really excited to go this year, especially in San Diego. I mean, come on, San Diego.
yeah.
Right. Right.
Now it looks like Goofy has a question for me and the gang. It looks like he's asking, "How was it when we found the secret entrance on day one?" I, for one, have to say, finding that secret entrance was amazing. Thank whoever the hell found that secret entrance, because you saved us all 4 to 5 hours of wait time, let me tell you. And not only that, when we got up to the line, I noticed it, but no one else really noticed it. While we were waiting there in line, there was a cosplayer walking by. She was dressed as Daisy. Well, I don't know if y'all know this, but when Pokimane went to TwitchCon on day one, she was dressed as Daisy, and lo and
Hmm.
behold, I ran into Pokimane, and that was kind of one of my highlights of
Wow.
TwitchCon. But it was more. It wasn't like I met her, she met me, we talked together. It was more of just a passing glance of hi, I know you, you're cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hear
because
that.
they unfortunately they don't have a lot of time because they are kind of bombarded. I'm not gonna lie, a lot. Like I needed to say hi to Tifu,
Mm-hmm.
because I saw him and I wanted to. I just remember at TwitchCon I wanted to go up to Tifu and thank him because he hosted my brother at one point, and I was like, that's amazing that
Oh,
this.
that's epic.
Yeah, it was really cool for him and really cool for
Hmm.
me. So I really wanted to go up and thank him.
Nice. Right on.
But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
so it looks like time is running a little bit low, so I think we should wrap out. Is there anything else you guys want to say or do, or
Um,
closing statements?
I do have necessarily a closing statement, but one last thing I want to mention about the itself is that if you are able to, and the convention center and slash Twitch make it available, go pick up your badges the day before. I ran into so many people who showed up
Yeah,
just before the doors were opening to pick up their badges, and they didn't get in until after about 5.5, 6 hours
yeah.
later. So,
I do have to agree there. Pick up your badge the day before and
hmm.
try and get there even earlier than the like close to the closing time, because I, for one, I wanted to go pick up my badge the day before.
Hmm.
But on my way up, my car unfortunately was overheating, so I wasn't able to get there. Luckily, I woke up at like 7 in the morning to get there, and I was there super early, but it still took me a good hour and a half to pick up my badges
Yeah.
at the crack of dawn, let me tell you.
Yeah, it's rough. But when I went about lunchtime because my office is just about a mile and a half from the convention center. So I
Yeah.
drove over around lunchtime, and it took me about 15 minutes to get my badge. And then just ran into a few people who I've never met in person before, so that was kind of neat, and it got me really amped up. So there will be a lot of people also going the day before if they allow it. However, you're not really impacting the con itself, just whatever you had personally going on that day. So you're not missing out on any of the con by waiting in line because you didn't get your badges the day before. That would be like my biggest piece of advice for any TwitchCon goers.
No, that's good advice, especially for someone coming out, specifically for this.
And
So
You're
for his
thank you.
right.
first
Yeah.
time too, first convention.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it's definitely going to be intense, but I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you're excited. I'm glad that everyone is headed up that way, because that's gonna mean a lot of opportunity to kind of cross talk and network a little bit more and get to know some of our other left coasters. But
Hmm.
Absolutely.
yeah, I just wanted to thank you guys then. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for talking to me. Thanks for talking to chat. We appreciate you stopping by, chat. Thank you for tuning in. I see you, Gooby, Riz. I saw Messi and Sater as well. But and Jamin Amistar, am I pronouncing that correctly? I don't like to muck up names here, but I think I can speak for me, Kev, and Horkified, that we appreciate you stopping here for our first TLC talk show.
Absolutely.
And it's certainly not the last, but this is gonna be a fun time. I can't wait for the next people to come on and get to meet some of our other family.
Yeah,
No, thank you.
Thank you. I'm very excited. I'm very excited with the launch of this show and future shows to come. Very, very excited.
Quick little call out to you as well there, Vex. Thank you much for hosting this and putting this on for everybody.
I am simply a sidekick. I am in no means the person in charge, but I mean, whatever I can do to kind of get people on here and kind of help the left coast out, I am more than happy to do, even if it means just volunteering some of my time. I have no problem with that. So I'm just happy to be here. So thank you for extending the opportunity to me. So
absolutely.
I appreciate that.
No, I'm gonna get a little bit emotional here, just a little bit. All right.
I mean,
forewarning everybody.
Everybody bust out your tissues.
All right, get the box. Sorry. No. Vex, it's because of people like you that and Govey and Mel and everybody else who's been helping put everything together that's making this experience just that much greater. And I don't want to speak for everybody, but you've all got my deep thanks. So we couldn't be doing this without any of you. And yes, I'm not good with those, but I'm trying.
The feels,
so thank you.
The feels.
Man. Yeah. It
Sorry,
gets me.
hold on.
Right.
Hold on.
Alrighty, guys. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much. And with that, we're actually going to be heading on out now. We appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for tuning in with us. We're going to be back, I believe, April 20th at 6 p.m. And we will be a little bit more tuned into everything and kind of get it rolling. I know today was a little bit weird because it was our first time, but you know what? We're just going to polish it up and make it that much better. So thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Have a good night, okay?